Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are all doing well. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to put out some DMs real fast. Let people know we're up early streaming. It's not going to be a wild, long stream or anything like that. I just want to get some information out there to let people be informed about certain things that are happening. And give me 1 second here, though. Live. There we go. All right, just hitting up one or two buddies. Gonna get live on stream real quick. Should have done this beforehand, but again, this is kind of one of those things where it's like, whatever. I'm just gonna go live and get it out there right now. Okay, so I'm not gonna shout out my channel sponsors today because this is more of a personal thing, and this is more of a independent. I don't want it to be reflective to my sponsors, which have absolutely no like hand in any of this whatsoever. So I just want to kind of like do that. So again, sorry, channel sponsors. I don't want to get you guys involved when you guys don't need to be. This is just me doing what I want to do. Let me play some music though, real quick. It's been a pretty good morning, so I just want to keep that going. Just want to kind of keep that going. All right, we got 9 people watching. Today's stream is going to be in regards to the recent proposal that I put up on chain to end the Juno Charter and return Juno tokens to the community pool. We're going to be talking about that. It's proposal 350. I'm trying my best to be proactively transparent, right, and forthcoming with new developments whenever I possibly can, especially if it involves something that I've done directly. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, guys. If you guys could do me a huge favor, like, retweet, reshare. If you haven't already on YouTube, please subscribe. It goes a long, long way. I'm just an old man with gray hair. Yeah, and I'm here in the crypto space trying to do my thing, and it's rough out there sometimes. So I could definitely use you guys' support. If not, no worries. But it is absolutely free and it costs you nothing. Like I said, to be a supportive person, you should feel like a good person. I know I feel like a good person when you're being supportive. So think about it at least. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into it. I will say this isn't going to be a long stream, but I will keep it open. So if anybody wants to chime in, let me know. If anybody has any questions, also let me know. I'll try to get to them. Excuse me. Still waking up. Still haven't got all that junk out. The morning crowd. What's up, chicken tacos? Chicken tacos. Appreciate you, my friend. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and jump on into the discussion that is Juno, and then we'll jump into the proposal. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Let's go ahead and jump on into the Juno chart first and foremost, okay? This is our beloved Juno chart. It's not the entirety of the chart. It's just what's on TradingView and from Osmosis, right? It starts back here in October 2021. So it doesn't show like the full everything. I guess it does. Doesn't it? Does. Doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. So anyway, we've definitely fallen from grace. Matter of fact, we're basically right now at testing previous all-time lows in the past, which I believe at one point it was like 12 cents. Our friend Robo would like to say that he called that to a T, and I think he actually did, though, to be honest with you. But 12 cents, I think, was the low. We're sitting at 14, right above 14 right now. So, we're not looking all too strong in any case. We're underneath, again, we're on the daily time frame using market cipher as our favorite oscillator indicator tool of choice. You can see that this is the 200 SMA right here, right? We're beneath that. We're also beneath the 50 SMA, right? So technically on the chart, nothing really bullish whatsoever for the price action. This is the 50 SMA that I'm drawing a line for right here. That yellow line shows the 50 SMA. If you zoom in, you can see that quite easily right now. 200 SMA, 50 SMA. 50 SMA has been on the daily time frame, the thing that's been keeping us underwater. If you want to just say technical things and stuff like that, it's more of a fundamental problem that we have when it comes to Juno than anything. Like TA is at this point pretty stupid unless like you're just playing that game. Nonetheless, though, right now That's what's happening on the charts, and that's the only thing that people really that don't know the fundamentals, that don't know the history, are gonna see and like judge what's happening with Juno, right? Like people are just gonna look at this and say, "Oh hell no! Why would I? Why would I do this? This is down only." Like realistically, that's what new people are gonna do that have no issues whatsoever of being ignorant and not doing research and like all this other stuff. People are just wanting to speculate and trade, right? And anybody that looks at this chart is just gonna basically say, "Doo doo." There's nothing for me to trade there. Like all I'm gonna do, if I can short it somewhere, I'll short it because that's what the trend looks like, and the trend is your friend until it's not. But that's literally the only option that most, in my opinion, smart traders will do is probably short the shit out of this because it looks like it's going to zero. Excuse me. Still trying to get that crud out my throat. Still trying to wake up. This is the most I've talked all morning. But honestly, hold on one second. Got that morning old man crud, guys. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I'm just being real. I'm not trying to FUD Juno or anything like that or the community. I'm just gonna address all the issues and problems that we have, like right up front, right? Like if anybody looks at this chart, if you were to have an elevator conversation with people and say, "Hey, what's up, Chicken Tacos? If you want to join, by the way, Chicken Tacos, I can send you the link to join." I got the crud. Oh yeah, you got the crud. I got the crud. But yeah, just let me know. I'll send you the link if you want to join in. But yeah, I'm just preaching about like the fundamental and technical problems that we are facing right now. There's a many. But first and foremost, right, it's like we got to attract activity. We got to attract new users. We got to attract developers. We got to attract investors, basically in general, right? We got to attract all kinds of people. He says, sure. Let me go ahead and get you that link real quick. Hold on one second. I'm going to send it to you in Discord real quick. Boom. Here we go. I just sent it to you in Discord. All right. So that's what we're dealing with right now, right? We're dealing with I think my wife just came home. So we're dealing with people not wanting to invest basically because of this chart, right? This chart looks pretty bad. Like it's there's nothing really good about this chart whatsoever. I'm on the stream. There's nothing really good about this chart whatsoever. There's no bullish anything when it comes to this chart. So like having an elevator pitch and telling people about permissionless smart contracts and all this other stuff is not going to really work because any trader or investor is going to look at this and say there's no opportunity there. And that's just like the plain of it, right? The plain and simple of it. There's been no crossover. Like maybe right here, we could have had that conversation like, oh, things are turning around. But let's be real. It's just been down only. What's up, Chicken Tacos? Testing your mic. 1, 2. I don't know if his mic is working. You're live though, if you are. So just letting you know once you get that set in, you are live. But in any case, guys, so that's like the simple of it right now based on the chart, right? Oh, there you go. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Nice.
had two audios going. It was chaos.
Welcome to the struggles of a streamer.
Yes.
So yeah, like Chicken Tacos, I'm just going over. I don't know if you heard. Basically, the real quick explanation of the things that we're immediately struggling with. And on the front end of things, there's many things that Juno is struggling with, especially on the back end of things, or fundamentally. But like on face value, which is the only thing that really matters a lot of times. When it comes to the conversation of attracting new activity, new users, new liquidity, right? However you want to call it, is the plain and simple chart reading, right? Like the tarot card reading of the chart. Am I wrong in saying what I've been saying? Like there is no technical, there's no technical anything on the chart that's gonna make anybody go, this is a great place for me to get into. You can't even really say, oh, it's it's at previous lows. Like, okay, here, I'm going to stretch something really, really big, super big stretch. But I want you to understand this, guys. I don't believe in this whatsoever. You could maybe single out a section on the chart right here and maybe say, okay, this is a double bottom. Right?
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. Some guy's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's a double bottom right there.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
fine.
But
you might be able to pick up a couple percent. You know.
Yeah, and that's just pure speculating and projecting outwards, right? The thing that has to go along with that is the fundamental things that are happening on the chain, right? Like or on the network. And right here, we actually have a very big opportunity right here to actually confirm that really skeptical, like really, really shaky perspective of the double bottom. Is this section right? We have the moment to capitalize fundamentally on making a change, but without that, I just don't buy into a double bottom. Like not even for a scalp, not even for a weak scalp or anything like that. Not even for let's just say it hits here and it gets this 20 cent price movement. Like just say double bottom 20 cent. That'd be still 90% gain on the chart, but that's not like a double up. You can find double ups at other places more with more confidence. Other places. I guess what I'm trying to say is it really matters what we do right here. Like literally sink or swim. This is the moment. I'm not trying to FUD things or create like chaos or panic or anything like that. But just looking at the charts as from no bias, like if I was looking at it outside looking in, right? Had fresh liquidity, was looking for an opportunity, and I was one of those people. I saw this chart, I'd go, hell no. Unless you told me fundamentally something to give me a reason to deploy capital right here and chase that double bottom.
Yeah,
Again,
I think single digits, it's game over.
Yeah, you go underneath 10 cents, bro. We're dead ducks. We're dead ducks. This is our moment right here, Juno Network. And again, this is just my humble opinion. Other people will tell you differently, but this is the moment where a decision is going to have to be made. A line in the sand has been drawn, and either we can continue doing the same old. We can continue having the same discussions of decentralization and transparency, which is very important. I do not want to take that away. I do not want to take that aspect of the conversation away. You don't get me wrong in when I say these things. I just think there's an order of other things that are probably more important right now that we should be focusing on instead of those things and trying to push those things as selling points. Make sense, chicken tacos? And please, if I'm ever wrong, don't just agree with me. But like, do you agree with that?
No. Oh yeah, 100%. There needs to be something happening, and that's positive.
Yeah. Right now, there's nothing really positive other than like structure reform.
Prop 350.
Well, yes. And now I was going to get to that. That you're absolutely right. Let me go ahead and share this other screen. Okay, guys. So little transparency as well. I am currently, even right now, I don't know if actually, no, I don't think it does. But I'm not sure. I'm currently an operations member within the charter itself, right? And the charter was, if you guys, I don't want to bore you guys all too much because I really don't think a lot of people care all too much about certain things. But it's been a long process, like about a year, 6 months on a journal working group. People were working on structuring this thing and coming up with the most ideal structures to enact this charter. And then I was voted in by the people and took the responsibility of being an operations member so that I could oversee and ensure that the will of the people was always, being protected. Excuse me, had to burp. That's literally the reason why I took the role, is so somebody there would not be just a yes man or a figurehead of sort. Like I take that back. Maybe I was a figurehead for the people, but that's why I took the role. I went to all the meetings that I possibly could. I gave my input and partook wherever I possibly could. But that's why I took it, right? Like I wanted to ensure that it wasn't just going to be special interest groups and people with the same mindsets doing what they're doing and stuff like that. And for the most part, actually, to be very honest with you, it wasn't bad being in the charter. It was frustrating at times because of the processes of things, but it really wasn't all that bad. I actually didn't ever work the work was, none of it was bad with any of the individual on any of the development department, the communications department. It was never a bad experience for me. I got along with everybody quite well, I thought. Until recently. Until recently, right? Um, but any case, that's neither here nor there. The charter was designed to be a test subject of sorts for 6 months. It was had a 6 month trial period, and to where the members, including myself, had the opportunity to try to structure and enact changes, positive changes for the network. Right? Some people will have you believe that no promises were made at all from the charter and its members. And I don't know. I guess that's kind of true. I mean, that's not what I signed up for, right? I was hoping that this actually had benefits, and one of the bigger benefits that a lot of people say is, yeah, we somewhat stopped Core One from existing, right? Like we stopped. That's subjective too, because there's still core members that have what they have, and it's whatever. But like Core One, it was dissolved. That was like the biggest thing, right? And there was transparency. Let me say that transparency being had, and also I think one of the coolest things is Cristiano. As much as he doesn't like me, it seems Cristiano, which is another ops department member, did fantastic work, like getting a budget together and getting everybody the ability to actually see our expenses, what's coming in, what's going out. I thought he did fantastic work, along with a few others, like Dimmy, even believe it or not, even some other people in the developer department and outside that would hang around the developer department. I thought we're doing great work. Unfortunately, it really wasn't bringing back any kind of positive activity on the chain or interest to the chain. Matter of fact, it was driving away. The more and more it went on, it was driving away interest when it comes to like the people working on the chain and getting things done. Hell, we had a agreement with, okay, I'm gonna try to say this as best I can. We were trying to get a native platform, native DEX or swap platform feature, whatever you want to call it, for the Juno network going. We wanted to fund it. We wanted to get it going within the charter and the community. We all agreed that, we were going to set aside a budget and that we were going to start funding this work through Dimmy, which was, I absolutely really like the guy as well, from the operations department, which also runs a group called Konsugi, which is a bunch of developers, to build this out, right? They put out an RFP, a request for proposal. It was all this long drawn out, in the sake of fairness process. And the end, like long of it being short, what happened was we agreed within the ops department to fund and send over these funds to the developer department. Developer department, like for whatever reason, it just never started getting funded. Nothing ever happened. Not like we funded it. There was a thing happening. And matter of fact, by the way, like we didn't even fund all of it either. We were just kind of like as it went, which we were trying to like not affect the price, but like nothing ever happened from it. Right. We put out RFPs. Nobody would ever respond to it. We had like one group here, one group there. It was hard, man. It was really hard because the processes and the things that were being suggested or recommended or however proposed to be enacted and in place was just really mucking and slowing things up with red tape all over the place in the just the whole like promotion of transparency and fairness. That's not how, at least for as far as I understand the real world, right? And my involvement in business dealings and stuff like that. That's not how the real world works. I'm sorry. It's just, they're just not. There's got to be give and take. And it seems like for me that the Juno Charter really suffered because all we wanted to do was take and not give anymore, which is, I get it. We've got Stockholm, like we've got, not Stockholm syndrome. We've got basically like, traumatic stress disorder where we've been beaten up and abused for so long that we're just like, we're paranoid about any relationship and stuff like that. That's what it seems to me, but that's not beneficial, right? It's not beneficial at all. It doesn't help you, me, the network, if we don't take on risk. I'm not saying be degenerates or anything like that, but that's just from my involvement and also being a community member. That's how I perceived what was happening, right? And that's what I saw happening. It was just a bunch of red tape, a bunch of like demands, without ever giving back to anything when it comes to trying to formalize relationships within the space, and just nothing really getting done. Like there was just a few things that got done, and like some people want to discredit, it was whatever, but like, we were able to rake back in some of the Juno that was floating around on multi-sigs from people that are no longer active community members within Juno, which is funny because that's literally what we're setting up right now. Is the same situation. Um, and then Cristiano did fabulous work by formalizing a budget and some other things as well, delegations programs and all this other stuff. But like other than that, we did not create any kind of fertile playground for any developer to be intrigued or want to come like really mess around with us. Is that
Yeah, you
fair?
got to draw. Yeah, you got to draw them in.
Yeah,
Why? Why
nothing
build
happened
here?
there. Yeah,
Need-
I just don't want to be like I. And again, if anybody wants to chime in as well, let me know. I'll send you a thing. But like chicken tacos, am I fair in saying that? I know it was all over the place, but is that basically the gist of what happened?
To me, it seems perfectly reasonable. I mean, we have to. There has to be some sort of draw to get the people to build things, but you kind of have to nudge and nurture that, from a starting point. And we've
Yeah.
lost how many dexes and platforms has Juno lost? Let's count. Fortis. Is Fortis still even operational?
I don't even know. To be honest, probably
I
not.
checked.
Fortis, Loop, right? Loop was somewhat of a Hopers. Um,
And
Wind, yeah. What was Juno Swap 5?
yeah, so
Like,
and these were all DAOs. Some, or not all of them, I shouldn't say, but Wind was a big DAO, and then so that was. I remember who was it that was bringing up DAO as the building point, starting block for everything.
oh, there's been so many people that say that stuff, and like I get it. Like Dao Dao's great. Like don't get me wrong, Dao Dao is phenomenal. It's super cool. It's a great, but like, if for a governance tool, what if you have nothing to govern? Like, then what does it matter?
It's about where it's at. It's like
Yeah. So anyway, I'll cut to the.
you have Juno. What can you do with it?
You could do a ton of stuff with it. It's permissionless smart contract, and like there's the possibilities should be endless. Honestly, the possibilities
Yeah.
should have been endless, right?
And yeah, but we have to attract people to build stuff to do it, because right now, what can you do with it other than to send it somewhere else and swap it? There's
Or
nothing
vote.
actually.
Or vote. Yeah,
Or
like
vote.
people.
Yeah, you can
like-
you can form a DAO right now and lock up your funds in a group together,
Mhm.
and then vote on how to maybe use that. But other than that, what utility does it have?
Yeah, not much, man. Not much. Honestly, Juno's a governance token, and that's it. And like I know the people that are naysayers, especially to myself, are going to argue like, oh, there was all this activity. Guys, it was just all the voting and stuff like that was happening. Wasn't actual investable and realistic and comparable activity on the chain. Like it really wasn't. If you like. It's just a bunch of people making props and moving stuff around and voting. Like there was nothing really happening.
So it's the real question is, how do you bring value back to it? Because we're down, I don't know, 99.75% from all-time high. I haven't even done the math, but it's a ways. I mean,
I have some ideas for sure, but that's neither here nor there. I want to get into like just setting up the stage and just giving my perspective and why I'm doing something, right? Like I want to give people the benefit of doubt, and like also I'll paint a target on myself. Sure, I don't really mind. I don't care if people attacking me and saying things or whatnot. This is just me doing what I think and what I know to be true from my position. So I just want to share that, right? And like I understand that people are also going to have difference of opinions based on their financial position and or social position as well. Like I'm not saying I'm the end all be all or that you're wrong ultimately and I'm right forever. Like I'm not that fucking delusional about things, but I will say I have a pretty good grasp, I think at least, on the understandings of how things work and what things need in order for it to actually start at least breathing again. So I do have some ideas, but I just want to kind of share with everybody first and foremost how we've kind of got here and what's got us here thus far. And again, guys, the first thing I want to share with you guys was the chart, right? Like we have a big problem with people just looking at face value at the chart. If you don't think you can judge a book by its cover, it happens all the time. And anybody that tells you that fantasy and all that sort of stuff, like you should never judge a book by its cover, guys, yeah, maybe not, but like people do it all the time, and it's a real thing. And if people were to do that by our book cover, we'd be in like really bad shape. So I just want to kind of point that out on the charts first, and then I kind of want to give you guys my perspective of being a charter member and what and what I saw and what I've felt. I mean, again, that's neither here nor there. I'm just speaking for myself, giving my opinion about my involvement in it. And so what brings us to where we are right now is I have my ideas, like Chicken Tacos was saying, of what could change things, what could free things up, which do involve a lot of risk. I originally put up a proposal on Commonwealth that involved putting or enacting an elected leader above the charter so that workflows could be streamlined and oversaw, right? And then, but people within the charter, literally, I can bring up the Juno Commonwealth as well. But people within the charter, literally, gave the feedback and said, per the response, that even if it was voted for by the people, that they would not uphold it. And so I thought to myself, because that's the original route that I wanted to go, Chicken Tacos, but I thought that's so damaging and that's so risky to push just my perspective forward on chain when it's written, like literally written by other members and the pushback from other people involved in the charter and around it, that they wouldn't even uphold the vote of the people if it did pass, right? Like it didn't sit well with me. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. And then also, I will say also what happened was, which I thought was really smart by the people too. They enacted, which was so a delayed thing, a conflict of interest policy to where any elected leader wouldn't really be able to work within those parameters if they were still working with or alongside the charter. If you guys read that conflict of interest and really took it a little bit further than just its face value, which I'm sure this is why it was written, right? Anybody that had relationships of any kind of significance or evolving relationships would basically have to disclose that themselves, and then also put the people that they have relationship with, it could be other networks, it could be other development teams and stuff like that, out there on the forefront as well. I can't do that to my relationships. And people might think that's sketchy, but I cherish and I act as a professional in the relationships that I do have, both personally and professionally out there. And this is also, just to let you know, one of the big reasons why other relationships weren't happening within the charter, because they can't operate like that. It's this whole like open source, divulge everything to everybody all the time. In every case, that's killing us, that's slowing us down, which is why nobody wants to work with us. Why should any third party suitor or sponsor or developing like anything have to disclose their position just to formalize a relationship with us? I get it, but do you understand that's not going to be viable for the vast majority of privately ran companies? They're private, they're not public. They're private. These are private companies, developers, smart like other networks and stuff like that. It's not just black and white. That's the struggles. I get it. I get conflict of interest disclosures. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not a good thing, but it's not going to work. And it's been showing to not work thus far. And so when they put in that little caveat right after this conflict of interest thing, I was like, I can't push forward this elected official over the charter and expect anybody that's going to have their fiduciary duties intact, really uphold the will of the people, be transparent, and not fudge everybody to death. And I'm speaking about myself, right? I can only speak for myself. I don't know anybody else. Even my best friends, I don't know what the real intentions. Like, truthfully and honestly, you can't speak for anybody else, right? I can only speak for myself. But still, even if it wasn't me, I couldn't imagine anybody else being willing to be put under that much scrutiny for that little reward. I offered for $7,500, half of that being vested for like double the amount of time for the period of the elected person. That still wasn't good enough. They just want everybody wants you to do it for free, risk your neck out there socially and financially and your time away from your family and all this stuff for giggles and laughs. I don't know what. I don't know what. So like none of that elected official stuff anymore made sense for me. That's why like if so anybody asked and I got a lot of people, I would rather have you see like a lot of people chicken tacos was like, I would rather you push the other thing and then put the charter thing and not dissolve the charter and all this other stuff. It's not viable. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because these bumper lanes or the bumpers that they put on the lanes within the charter, it's just it doesn't work out there in the real world. Nobody else is. I can only speak for myself. I'm not going to do it. I can only imagine nobody else is going to want to do it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense, chicken tacos? Still here?
I'm still here. Yeah, sorry, I was taking a drink of coffee.
Oh, the coffee is good. But like, so again, I didn't respond to a lot of people that were sending me that stuff and like, but that's where I'm coming from with that. That's why I didn't pursue that anymore. I didn't want to do away with the charter. I thought there was a lot of really great things that came from the charter. Like honestly, even if all the members left, all we'd have to do is just like transfer the admins for the charter departments or for the multi-sigs and all this other stuff. The thing was that I literally got wrote on Commonwealth that even if that was to happen, like even the vote was to happen, they wouldn't go through with it. And hell, to be honest with you, we've seen people leave the charter, right, and not come back. Just we just created the same thing that we got with the migrate of Juno back under control of the community, reenacted through the charter. Like, look at the development department and everybody else. Everybody except for one or two people and every single one of the departments said that they didn't want to run again. But these are the same people that are enacted or in place in these multi-sigs. What if nobody nominates themselves? What if nobody like gets voted? What if they get nominated and the people don't like those people? So we have people that are non-active Juno community members, again, in charge of multi-sigs with millions of Juno again. We literally just replaced one for another. Like it started not making any sense to me. None of this stuff makes any
Bad
sense.
situation is what it sounds like.
It sounds like all we did was go from this mud pit to this mud pit right here. That's
You just
all we really did.
crawled from one to the other.
Yeah, and then what we also made was, to be very honest with you guys, what it seems like is special interest groups within the three departments. Like everybody, every one of those, it's just a smaller, condensed, confined special interest group, right? When does the cooperation within smaller groups put the risk of potential, whether intentional or not, and this is a strong word, I don't mean to say this, I'm not saying anybody's doing this, but it's there. When does that cooperation potentially turn into a situation where collusion could take place for ideals of transparency and fairness and all this other stuff? What happened to decentralization? Right? And the other thing that I didn't like was there was some departments that were having private meetings with you can't really, it's just a just trust us thing. And regardless
No
of like,
logs.
yeah,
No
like
logs or anything.
no,
So-
the development department, I'm just gonna say it, the development department is the ones that would have these more so private meetings. They had numbers of private meetings. Nobody can say anything other than what you put out there with the logs at face value. You're still closing the doors and still saying only a select few people just trust us, right?
How do we know the logs aren't have things?
Exactly.
Redacted.
We had to at the operations. We
let's
had to
just,
have all of our stuff
purple
on
drop it.
Discord. Yeah, we had to have all of our stuff at all times, all of our meetings on Discord, all of our conversations on Discord, and then like, I'm not even trying to poke a stick with comms, but they had all of their supposed communications through Telegram. It was never on Discord. It was never open like the request and the agreements were to the community before on Discord, right? I don't think not a one meeting happened on Discord for comms. And I get it. Like there was all kinds of different struggles. And then the development department, like I just said, like it's just, it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, that's why that proposal wasn't pursued. I actually did not want to do away. I want to keep a couple of people. I actually really liked Copo. I thought he was really good at what he does. I actually really liked Cristiano. None of those people want to answer to a higher power. It's really funny because like all it was like answering basically to a CEO or like CEO or like anybody that's higher than your advisory board or board members and stuff like that. For people that like say they want to be beholden to the people and like they're just incumbents of the people and stuff like that. It's really funny when you just put one other person above, like they don't want to do it anymore. It's nope, you're the worst person on earth.
It's like
So anyway, I just
corner.
yeah, it's like so it's like okay, and they had choice words, and I kind of went on a rant and went off as well because I felt personally attacked about things, and that's fine. We can all have our opinions. Um, but yeah, so I sat back, took a couple of days, really thought about it, and I was like, you know what? The Juno network would be better off passing just traditional governance. Really, anything and everything can go faster. What's up, Ambito? Can go faster and get enacted through community governance. And then we take away special interest groups by doing so, by doing away with the charter, right? Regardless if it was intended or not. So I proposed proposal 350. Let me share that with you guys. Proposal 350 it's a pretty straightforward proposal, guys. This is the proposal 350 last night. We're already right now at almost 23% turnout with this proposal. 93.7% of people are voting in favor of this. Of course, there's the abstainers, which abstain just irks the shit out of me. I get it. It just really does irk the living fire out of me. We have one person with 1,500 Juno voting no. Same thing with the veto. Anyway, the proposal goes over this, guys. Proposal overview is seeking to formally end the Juno Charter, returning all Juno tokens controlled by the current members back to the community pool, with the exception of the Juno in the delegations program multi-sig. That way, all of the validators can still feel confident and feel good about getting their delegations program for now, right? Like for the times, I don't want that to be taken away. Like, so everything excluding that multi-sig. Proposal details, the charter will be terminated and Juno tokens will be, I don't know why it says redistributed. It should say return. I'm sorry. That was a typo. It should be return. It should be saying return, but I guess it's the same thing. With the exception of all those delegation program multi-sigs, this proposal is a formal vote for the, I can't speak today. God bless, dude. When I get on a roll and I don't have enough coffee in my mouth, like I just start getting. Blah. Anyway, it's a formal vote to dissolve the Juno Council in accordance with Proposal 319. As you guys can see here, the Juno Charter was established to guide the development and governance. I'm sorry. That's what I'm reading. The chat. That's why I was wrong. Don't listen to Chat GPT. Just go straight into the summary. I was like, that's not what I wrote.
It was trained wrong.
Yeah, it was trained wrong.
Yeah. We can't always rely on the AI.
Yeah. That's how I was getting thrown off. I was like, I don't feel like that's what I wrote. Sorry, guys. Let me hit this up one more time. Now I got coffee in my mouth. The proposal overview is, like I said, just to formally end the Juno Charter and return all Juno tokens controlled by the current members back to the community pool, with the exception of the Juno delegations program multi-sig. The Juno Charter was established to guide development and governance of the Juno network. However, this trial period is coming to an end. It has become evident that the current Juno Charter structure failed to increase the network's activity and social status. Again, you guys can see that being reflected on the chart. Ever since the actual Juno Charter was taken in place, the token has literally suffered from down-only price momentum. It is my opinion that we have created an environment that lessens our ability to make swift responses to future opportunities and emerging challenges. The objectives of this proposal is to terminate the Juno Charter, formally dissolve the Juno Charter and its allocation and its associated governance structures, return Juno tokens, ensure all Juno tokens controlled by current members be returned to the community pool, excluding those that are within the delegations multi-sig. Excuse me. Again, guys, so that's it right there. That's all we're trying to do. The expected outcomes of this is, like I said before, with the end of the Juno Charter, the network can adopt more flexible and adaptive governance structure that better aligns with the community's evolving needs. any and all current agreements, and this is absolutely true. So do not let anybody tell you that this is not true, okay? Any and all current agreements made by the Charter Department can be put to vote and either extended, executed, or terminated by the community governance module, by the traditional community governance model. So the agreement that we have for DAP development, look, if you guys, the third party, want that to keep going, put it up for vote. Put it up for vote and let the entire community vote for it. Okay? We can vote to basically honor that agreement and or even make it better. So everybody telling you, oh, Tank wants to take away all the good things. No. You guys already had an agreement. The first installments should have been done, paid for, and all this other stuff. The community, if we still want that, or if you guys still want to work, can put it to the community and everybody can vote for it, not just a small interest group that think they know best, right? Same thing for Konsugi and Dimi and stuff like that. Honestly, I think that payment would have happened quicker if it was just gone through community governance. It would have been a one-time thing. Boom, you guys want it. We all want it. We're going to pay for it. This is what it's going to do to the price if we pay for this in full. This is what it's going to do if we chop it up into this much installments. It would happen a lot quicker. Send the payment, get it done. If the community wants it, let them deal with it, right? Let them be the judge, jury, and executioner of these proposals. The proposal is a formal vote which requests that the Juno Council and its members go through the necessary steps to dissolve itself entirely. So again, guys, you guys as delegates, you guys as people who accepted the nominations and position of a delegate, this is me telling you guys and everybody else in the community that votes yes for this, if it passes, we expect you guys to fulfill your duties in full as delegates and members of the charter. So no more of this, I'm not doing it because the community voted for it and I just don't feel like it's right. You are supposed to be upholding the will of the people, okay? As you guys agreed to by taking your positions. If the proposal passes and is in accordance with Proposal 319, which stipulated the limited trial period requested within that proposal, if you guys don't, you're just a bunch of hypocrites. I'm just saying it because that really, I don't know. I'm sorry. Like if I feel like I'm attacking or sound like I'm attacking anything, that really bugged the shit out of me. When people were literally saying that they're not going to do it, even if the people agreed to it. I'm inviting everybody to take a look at this proposal, the Commonwealth discussions that have been had, provide feedback, and please vote. Please don't abstain either. Just yes, no. If for whatever reason you think this is malicious and would be harmful to the network, veto it. I don't think it is, though. I think veto is supposed to be for like malicious intent. This is not a malicious intent. I honestly and genuinely, truly with every fiber in my body, feel like there's a better structure to be had that'll be more beneficial for the network in its entirety if we do it with the charter and the multi-sigs and the people in control of that, and just return it back to the community pool minus the delegations program. And if people who are on the delegations program no longer want that duty, that's fine. We can replace the admins, but I don't think that there's a need to get rid of that. We can just replace the admins of it. We can have people submit to be on it, and the people can choose who's going to be on that to make sure that happens, until something else changes for the delegations program. But I think that indefinitely that should still keep going, right? So it's a pretty straightforward proposal.
Yeah, it should scale. We don't need that many people up top right now. There's not enough activity to warrant that.
No, yeah. Yep. The current turnout is now 27.15.
Ooh, some more people voted yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Almost a quorum.
Almost a quorum right now, guys.
By the end of the day.
Yeah, so it's nice to see, and we'll go to the votes and we'll take a look at this. It's nice to see the vast majority of validators get it, right? They get it. Shout outs to Cybernetics, all of the validators here. Pupmos, you're cracking me up, by the way. I've been seeing your comments. You're cracking me up, dude. Crypto Dungeon, Citadel, Imperator, Obase, all nodes, Pikachu. I'm saying some of these wrong. I'm sorry. I can never say these right to begin with, so I apologize, guys. White Well, Smart Steak. How do you say this? Disprise.
The Spurs.
Disprise. I'm a simple person. Community staking, Coin Hall, Gelato, Cosmic Validator, Web3 Forever. All of you guys over here that have been voting. I really appreciate it, man. Nodes Guru, memes, our meme foundation, Statecraft, Cypher, Icy Crow. All of you guys, I really do appreciate it, guys. This is not a malicious, attempt to doing things. Like I do have, and I'll be honest, I do have my thoughts and things. If this does pass, more than likely, right? Like I can just keep on putting up. Oh, I'm just killing myself in my chair. I can keep on putting up proposals without officially ever having a position in anything. We can do it that way. I honestly don't think that that's wrong. I think if it's a sensible and realistic and maybe beneficial proposal, we can just keep going on this route where community proposals get submitted, right? And we can just go that way without other dumb stuff enacted. Sure, fine, we can do that, or we can do a hybrid of what we were talking about before, where people do take on a little bit of risk. I get it, guys. People are gonna have to be risk, but I do have a lot of ideas about how to actually make this landscape, which is the Juno network, a lot more attractive and efficient. Yep, attractive, efficient, and a lot more. I'll be honest, fun to be in. Like, there's a lot of things that we could do without taking super big like chunks out of the pie, and just make this a better place. But that's neither here nor there. I first want to focus on, let's just make let's just wipe the slate clean per se. Let's get all this mess off the table. Let's have a good starting point again. And yeah, this was a test. We might have to iterate on it. We might actually have to take good things that came from this test. And there was a lot of good things that came from the charter. But there was a lot of bad as well. And that's all I'm saying with this. That's all I'm saying. So please, especially if you're validators out there, do me a huge favor. And if you guys want to hit me up or have a conversation with me, matter of fact, I'm going to throw myself at the firing squad because I know there's a bunch of naysayers out there. Highlander from Comms was asking charter members from the developer department operations to come and have a space later on today. I still plan on going if I can make it, right? I think it's at 2 or 3 o'clock Central Time, my time. I still plan on going. And I'm sure everybody's going to be at arms, like, blah, 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 blah. Look, guys, it's not like this is something new. I've been saying these things and my concerns and voicing them for a long time. So, yeah, I'll go. I don't care. People can ask me there. You guys can call me, DM me, whatever. But please do yourself a favor. Do everybody a favor. Read the proposal. And yeah. Anyway, that's all I got, really. That's all I got.
Should be passing by the end of the day. The way it's built up so far.
Yeah.
It's been live for like 12 hours.
12 hours, and we're almost getting to quorum. And so I think this is a great representation as well. Again, let me share it with you guys real quick. I think this is a great representation of, what the actual people feel like. I know there's some people that have like these confirmation bias and, they're just stuck with their ideals and their mindset. But like, I'm maybe jumping the gun and assuming, but as you can see, I think like the vast majority of people are ready to try something else, are ready to iterate further, are ready to actually do what we are exemplifying within the Juno network. And that is like, this is no better example of permissionless, right? Decentralization. Like, guys, where else can just an average person like myself, I'm just an average doofus. I'm just an average person. Where else could an average person be part of all these things on any level, any contributing level at all, or engaging level at all, and do these kind of things? This is showing the power of Juno in its entirety right now. The simple fact that I, just a random Joe, can put up a proposal and we as a community can all come together to reach an agreement is showing just how powerful and the potential that Juno has. It's a permissionless smart contract playground that has by far one of the best origin stories of the way that it was distributed in regards to regulation, all this other stuff, right? By far, when it comes to that, as far as a permission or permissionless smart contract application within the crypto landscape, there's so much things that we could do, even with what little we have. We just need people with special interest and closed minds to get the fuck out of the way. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say easy peasy like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they need to we need to there needs to be a big change of mindset overall.
Yeah. But that's all I got. That's all I got today. I didn't want to spend much more time. It's almost been an hour. It's one of the few mornings that I can actually just enjoy myself for once. Chicken Tacos and I have been working on a few things within the Juno network as far as an application goes, anyway. And so we got a lot of other things that we got to be doing too. So I just want to make a quick video, kind of have this discussion with people. Please vote. And I would say, if I'm campaigning, for my own proposal, please vote yes for this. It to me makes a lot of sense, right? So, and hopefully it resonates with all of you guys as well. But yeah, that's not to say that in the future we can't iterate and combine the best things of both. What I've been saying and what the charter was able to do and shown. But just because we did a few good things doesn't mean that we keep the entirety of it, right? Like sometimes, like have you ever seen a fruit? I have some fruit trees in my backyard and stuff like that. Do you guys ever see a half rotting fruit?
Yep.
Right? You don't keep the fruit if it's already started to rot. Like you gotta throw that out. Sure, you can eat some of it, but like I wouldn't, Anyway, but yeah, we're not gonna spend too much more time. But Chicken Tacos, you got anything else you want to say at all?
Not too much. I'm pretty quiet today. Need more coffee.
As you should be. I'm gonna let you go back to drinking your coffee and watching your Looney Tunes. This man was like, "I'm gonna watch Looney Tunes."
Yeah, it's a relaxing day. Relaxing day.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching it. Again, remember, like, retweet, go out and vote, send me DMs, whatever you guys want to do if you guys have questions. But yeah, I appreciate you guys' time. We're gonna get out of here. Peace.
All right.
Chicken Taco, I'll hit you up later in a little bit.
All right, man.
All right, man.